now in a dream state, Nightlings. This is episode 28 of the Horror Headquarters. I hope all of you guys are doing amazing and taking care of yourselves and making sure that you guys are prioritizing your mental health because that's very, very important. I want to start this episode by saying that tonight's episode is going to be very raw. And what I mean by raw is like, I'm just going to go for it because what tonight's episode is going to be about is a lot of the dream like situations that I've had that have come true. And what I mean by that will obviously make a lot more sense as the episode escalates. So if you're new here, make sure to hit that follow button and rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're just returning, welcome back and thank you guys so much for your continued support. I'm excited for this family to continue growing, the Nightlings family to continue expanding, and I'm just pumped for what this podcast has become and what it's going to continue to become. Now let's dive in to the realm of the Horror Headquarters. Alright, I'm gonna start off with a dream that I had on February 9th, 2024, and I wrote all this down at 2:56 a.m. No joke. And this is what I said in the dream. I don't even remember writing any of this, and I am so serious. Honest to God, I don't remember saying any of this or even writing this down, being that obviously I wrote it at 2:56 a.m. But this is what I said. Had a dream that a killer was after me, and I was at my tata's house, which Tata means grandma. And I put, had to dream, same guy was shooting the sleep darts at my face nonstop, and then I woke up and was really upset with him. He was confused as to why, and then suddenly my entire family's there. Now this might make zero to no sense right now. I mean, zero to no sense is kind of the same thing. But I read that because that dream kind of came true in a way. I mean, I'm not saying I had sleep darts thrown at me, but I have not been able to sleep at all since that night. Not because the dream was haunting me in any way, but because I just have not been able to fall asleep like at all. And a lot of times I wake up in the middle of the night and I just have this like shocking feeling through my entire body. And I think it's that dream coming true because I said I have sleep darts thrown at my face. I'm so restless. Even right now, I'm so tired. That's why I said it's been a week and a half since all of this happened. And again, this is a very raw episode, so I apologize if any of this is confusing. But that's one dream that's connected to reality, that's like become reality in a way with like the sleep thing because I'm unable to fall asleep. So I feel like it kind of jinxed me in a way, but I'm hoping it didn't. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about. Now, there's something else that just happened last week that I need to discuss that I literally am so freaking scared about, and it wasn't a dream. Okay, now this one took place on February 15th, 2024. And this was after I was leaving school for the day, walking back to my car in the lot where I parked it. It was very windy at the time. And as I was walking back to the car, there was this person that was like passing me, and I was recording a video beforehand. And like I saw them, so I stopped recording the video so that like they wouldn't think I was crazy or anything. So this person passed by me and everything, and I'm still walking. I kid you not. 2 seconds later, I turn around and the person's gone. The person has disappeared completely. I literally froze right in my spot. I wish there were security cameras. I think there is. I literally would get it just to show you guys this proof. I stood in that spot and I kept making circles in that same spot because I'm like, am I going crazy? Did I not just see someone pass me? Like, am I going nuts? I ended up taking a picture. I don't know why I ended up taking a picture, but I ended up taking a picture of the pavement, like the floor that I was walking on, so that I would remember this for this episode so that I can talk to you guys about it. I think it was a girl, but I didn't see their face, and they were wearing all black. Now this shit is still creeping me out. till this day, and I'm still trying to think if I really did see someone. But let me ask you this. If I didn't see someone, why would I have stopped and looked around multiple times? That's something I can't understand or even can't comprehend, and it's driving me crazy, and it's so creepy. And as I was doing this, there was a bus, because like there's a bus that takes kids to campus and everything. There was a bus that passed by, and they were like looking at me, and they ended up opening their window. They're like, "Are you okay?" And I just didn't answer, and I just kept walking because I didn't want them to think I'm crazy. I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I thought I saw someone," and then they disappeared. Yeah, that's what I want to tell someone. So I just kept walking, but I still think every day, where the hell did that person go? And before anyone's like, well, there's a lot of places they could have gone. They could have, like, I don't know, like went behind something. But I'm like, no, it was less than 2 seconds after they passed me, and I was literally freaking out. I can't even speak. I was like, "Bleh." But it was insane. And I don't know if that was a sign or not to like watch my back, or if it's just hallucinations. I'm unsure, and I don't think that I'll ever get the answer, because that's something that still hasn't made sense to me as of yet. I'm hoping I get some closure, and what I mean by closure is like, I'm hoping I have a dream or something about it that tells me why that happened, and just to make sure that I'm not going crazy. But I don't care. I love being crazy. But yeah, that's something else that occurred that I'm still trying to cope with, and I can't even believe I'm talking about it to you guys, because you guys are gonna think I'm insane. But as I reiterate in so many of my episodes, you can think all you want about me being crazy or insane, but that person was there. That person passed by me, hence why I stopped recording a video, hence why I started turning around in circles, thinking, what the F did I just witness? And where the hell did this person go? So that's yeah. So that's yeah. See, I can't even speak just thinking about it. And I'm still trying to get that image out of my head. I think they were wearing like a jacket, like a hoodie, but like it's a zip up jacket or something. I'm pretty sure it was a girl because they had long black hair. I don't remember seeing their face though. Like, I don't remember seeing a face. And that creeps me out even more. So that's another thing that's happened ever since that dream, and like that's been going on. I've been having like the weirdest situations going on. That's another one. Oh, but we're not done there. There's so much more to go through. Alright, now this next experience happened when I was in my directing class on campus. Now we were about to break out into groups to like work with our actors for that day. And for some odd reason, all of a sudden I have this urge to say ow out of nowhere, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." And you know what I say? I say, "I think someone just got hurt." Like, what am I even talking about? Like, those words literally just slipped out of my mouth. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I just said, but just ignore me. As soon as class is over, I'm walking towards the bus station, and I see an ambulance, and I say, "Oh my god, what happened?" And like there's a bunch of people surrounding the ambulance, and I walk up to them like, "What happened?" They're like, "Some girl got knocked over by someone on campus, and she ended up like passing out." And so like the ambulance was like about to leave, like, because obviously I didn't see like who it was, but they were all worried if like she was gonna be okay or not. And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's insane." I'm like, "When did this happen?" They're like, "It was like around 2:15 to 2:30 p.m." That's when the class starts. The class starts at 2, but we were talking, and we were just about to break out, and like our practice session in the beginning of class was like 15 to 20 minutes long. I don't know if that's a coincidence. I'm gonna say it's not a coincidence, because that is another thing that freaked me out. And I don't know why all these things are happening to me right now. I don't know why I'm like predicting stuff that's gonna happen in the future. It's really creepy. I don't know if it's a power that I have. I say that jokingly, or not jokingly, who knows. But it's just overall very, very creepy. And I wish that was all. Oh, don't I wish that was the last thing that happened. Nope. No, 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 no. There's not. There's more. There's a lot more. This next story is gonna make you guys go nuts. Now, this is another thing that happened on February 15th, but this one was in the morning. And it's going to be very hard to get through this because of how insane it all is, but I'm going to go for it. When I woke up, I recalled having a dream that there was this really, really bad accident on the highway. And before you guys get into like, well, there's always accidents every day, this one was very, very graphic and it told me exactly what was going to happen. I also just want to say that on that Thursday, February 15th, there was this really bad snowstorm going on, and like it was snow mixed with fog, and it was not pretty to drive in. And the dream showed me two cars that have spun out of control and that were in the middle of an intersection on a highway. And one of the people was like at the other car and like banging on the window trying to break through it because they were angry or something. And then like a bunch of police ended up coming out of nowhere, and this guy turns around and he has like black like under eye bags and his nose is bleeding and it looks broken. And I wake up, I'm like, okay, that was a really weird dream. Driving on the highway, heading to school, right in front of me, the two cars spin out of control, fall into an intersection, cause all this like drama to go on in the highway, and like I had to like slam on my brakes when the weather was so bad. Also, my brakes are freaking terrible in the winter, and I hate driving specifically in the winter because I've had so many incidents during the snow time when I get in like really bad accidents. So I really hate driving in the snow. So yeah, these two cars spin out of control, slam on my brakes, my car starts sliding and the brake will not work, and I'm like freaking out. I'm trying to like slowly do it so it works out. My car ends up sideways. Yeah, sideways. I end up fixing it, and as I'm fixing it, I see someone trying to break through the other person's front door window, like screaming his lungs out. I'm like, what is going on? And then, like a couple cars behind me, I hear sirens go off, and they end up going like next to where this person is doing all this stuff. And they grab him and they turn him around, and he faces like towards like all the cars that have stopped. Black under eyes and what looks like to be a broken nose that's very bloody. At that moment, I remembered the dream. I remembered, like, I was like kind of like a deja vu moment, but I had remembered the dream that I had. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And I started freaking out. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. This is too crazy. This is too insane. And it really freaked me out to like a point where obviously, like, I had to wait for like all the traffic to clear off, but I was stunned the rest of the day. Stunned. Like, I was very wide-eyed and I was like looking around me everywhere. I'm like, something gonna happen here, something gonna happen here, something gonna happen here. That's the same day that that girl passed by me and then she disappeared. Make it make sense. Please, please, someone, if you know what's going on, please drop it in the Q&A on Spotify, because I would love to hear your input on what's going on with my life, because this is creepy as heck. This story is very, very insane just to be talking about, and I'm still trying to cope with the fact that all this happened in such a short time. It's all very, very insane. And by the way, there's so much more, but I'm gonna save it for a different episode because a lot of this is very fresh. And there's one that recently just happened, literally like yesterday, and I'm still like caught off guard by it. I'm like, whoa, 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 like no way. And like I remember when the thing that happened that I didn't tell you guys about yet, when it occurred, I called my mom instantly and I'm like, you're not gonna believe what just happened. And she knew exactly what I was talking about and she was freaked out. So yeah, not making any of this up, but you know, this past week and a half has been crazy. It's been insane. It's been eventful in a way that I don't like. But, you know, maybe this is just the superpowers I have or something. But maybe because I'm just such a horror fanatic and I'm very in tune with like my body and everything and like my mental state, even though a lot of times it's like upside down. I don't know, it could be anything. But yeah, just let me know if you guys have any idea as to what this could be, or if I'm just plain out crazy. I don't care. Alright, now back on the topic of sleeping. With the sleeping that hasn't been happening, I've been having some of the worst nightmares of my life. And they're never ending, and I'm always trying to wake myself up in them. And then as soon as I get up, I forget the dream. And I know that sounds very confusing. You're like, alright, well, then how do you know you have nightmares? Because they were terrifying, and I wake up fully sweating, drenched in sweat. Like it's like I just took a shower in bed. It makes no sense. This has been happening since my birthday, since February 5th, 2024. Have not gotten a proper night of sleep. I'm always waking up with bags under my eyes, and I'm just so exhausted, and I don't know why. And it's so confusing, and it's very horrific in a way because I'm not able to enjoy the things that I usually would enjoy. I'm not able to like watch a horror film and then like fall asleep like happily because like it keeps me up and I'm unable to sleep, and I'm like, this isn't helping. So I'm just hoping this goes away soon. Spring break is coming up, but this episode is very weird. It's very raw. I'm sorry, I apologize if it's very out of the ordinary, but life has been crazy lately, and it's been showing me how insane it really can be. And I want it all to like settle down a little bit, and I want someone to tell me that I'm not crazy. I want someone listening to this episode in the Q&A to say that I'm not crazy. But if you tell me I'm crazy, I don't care. I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to get happy. Because just like Tate Langdon says from American Horror Story, normal people scare me. And he literally has a shirt that says that too. And I have one too that says that. But I'm wearing my Horror Headquarters t-shirt right now, so yeah. Alright, now it's time to go over the poll results after all that craziness. So the poll question on the previous episode was, do you think we will ever uncover the identity of the Zodiac Killer? If you haven't listened to the Zodiac Killer episode yet, go give it a listen. It is so good. I think it's one of my favorite episodes to date, if not my favorite true crime story that I've discussed, because I just love it, but not like in a creepy way. I love it because of like how intense it is and how insane it is, which makes me hate it, if that makes any sense. But the poll results, the first place was Let's Hope So, with 33% of you guys voting that. 27% of you guys said it would be great closure, and 20% voted for other Q&A, and someone else said, or a couple of you guys said, decoding the letters now, which if you don't know what that means, go give the episode a listen. Now, in the Q&A, someone said, I believe he's already burning in hell. God. Someone else said, has to be someone that's dead, but I think it could be a celebrity that's died. Oh, wait, that's actually interesting. That's cool. Someone else said, I think the killer passed his secret on to his children, so they may say one day. Someone with the name Alexi Damon, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, said he's probably dead by now, but I think there will be someone that comes out and exposes who it is. I really hope whoever it was is like discovered, and if he had any children, I'm hoping that they end up saying something, or like the great grandchildren or someone, because they're not gonna get in trouble for it, because like that's their father that did it, or like great grandfather, whatever. So I think it would be really great closure for the victims and the families. But yeah, thank you guys for participating in the poll and in the Q&A. You guys left so many responses. I really appreciate that. It makes me so happy to see you guys engaging with the episode. And of course, there is one under this episode as well, so make sure to vote on the poll under Spotify. And also make sure to contribute something to the Q&A. If you have any questions about this episode, about what I'm going through, please, please, please drop it. Please drop it in the Q&A so that I can like do some more research on all this stuff, because all these scenarios, they're all connected some way. I just don't know how. Though it feels like I'm living in a horror film right now in my life, this is the end of episode 28 of the Horror Headquarters. I am so appreciative of all you guys that are continuing to listen to all my episodes, support me on social media, rate the podcast, follow me, share it to your friends, promote it. It really does mean the world to me. And I know a lot of you guys are like wondering when the shirts are coming out. I swear they're coming. I had an issue with the person that was making the shirt, or the company actually, that was creating the shirts. There was like this big mishap that ended up happening, hence why I haven't released like a form where you guys can like pre-order one yet. But I swear they're coming. I'm trying to work very hard for them, and I know a lot of you guys have already expressed interest in them, and I'm excited to get those out to you. So I promise I did not forget about that. And there's going to be a little other things that I'm going to be testing to see if they come in properly. But yeah, if you guys aren't already following the podcast, make sure to hit that follow button wherever you guys are listening to the podcast. Make sure to follow us on all platforms, including Instagram at the Horror Headquarters. We also have a group chat on there where I like give little hints about the episode and like send you guys updates about what's gonna happen. So make sure you guys follow that. It's gonna be in my stories. We're also on Twitter at the Horror HQ. Haven't really been active on Twitter lately. I'm not sure why, but I'm gonna get back into it. If like always, you guys can always tag me and I will respond to you, I swear. And that's at the Horror HQ. I'm also on TikTok at the Horror Headquarters and on YouTube now at the Horror Headquarters. We have our podcast platform there now because Google Podcasts will be closing. I cannot speak today. It will be closing down. Not Google altogether, but just the podcast part of Google will be shutting down. Hence why everything's being transferred over to YouTube. Again, I want to thank you guys all for your support. I'm so excited for you guys all to be like repping the merch alongside me and like the entire world. Like, I don't care if it's one person in like the other side of the world or even someone I bump into. I don't care. I'm just excited for all this to come out and for some new things to come out of this podcast. And if you guys have any recommendations for episodes, horror movies, anything like that, please message me, DM me, or even drop it in the chat below on the Q&A on Spotify. You can now all wake up, nightlings. Tread lightly and pray for forgiveness. Midnight hour is approaching.